What's up, guys? It's me here with the ultimate recap of Week 2 of the 2025 NFL preseason. The first game of the night kicked off with the New England Patriots taking on the Carolina Panthers. Mac Jones started for the Patriots and he looked sharp, as he completed all 6 of his passes for 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Patriots defense also played well, forcing 3 turnovers. On the other side, Bryce Young looked decent for the Panthers, but he also threw a pick 6. In the end, the Patriots came out on top with a score of 24-13. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. This game was pretty uneventful until the fourth quarter, when the Packers took the lead with a field goal. However, the Bengals responded with a touchdown pass from Joe Burrow to Tyler Boyd to win the game 17-13. But now it's time for the main event as the reigning Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, take on the Seattle Seahawks. This game was a back-and-forth affair throughout the first half. The Chiefs struck first with a touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes to Rashee Rice, but the Seahawks answered back with a rushing touchdown by Zach Charbonnet, just when it seemed like the Chiefs were going to take the lead right before halftime. The Seahawks' Michael Jackson III intercepted a pass from Mahomes and returned it for a touchdown. Going into the locker room, the Seahawks had a 14-7 lead. In the second half, the Chiefs made some adjustments and came out firing. They scored 14 points in the third quarter alone, including a rushing touchdown from Isaiah Pacheco and a passing touchdown from Mahomes to Sky Moore. The Seahawks, however, were not done yet. They responded with a touchdown pass from Geno Smith to tight end Will Dissly. With the score tied at 21, the tension was palpable, and in the final seconds of the game, the Chiefs lined up for a game-winning field goal. But wait, the Seahawks called a timeout, seemingly giving the Chiefs an advantage. As they approached the line of scrimmage again, it looked like the Chiefs had it won. But no, this time the Seahawks were ready. A false start penalty on the Chiefs' Creed Humphrey gave Seattle one last chance, and after another incompletion, the game went into overtime. In the extra period, both teams had their chances. The Seahawks drove down to the Chiefs' 1-yard line, but Smith threw an incompletion on fourth down, turning the ball over to Kansas City. From there, the Chiefs marched down the field and set up a 50-yard field goal attempt. But wait, the Seahawks had one last trick up their sleeve. They sent 5 players to blitz, and the Chiefs' offensive line couldn't hold them all. One of the Seahawk defenders got a hand on the ball, deflecting it and securing the win for Seattle. What a way to cap off an exciting week of preseason football. Alright, now let's take a closer look at the top performers from tonight's games. First up is Patrick Mahomes, who once again showed why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He completed 26 of 38 passes for 301 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also added 32 rushing yards on 6 attempts. Even though he didn't get the win, his performance was impressive nonetheless. Next up is Geno Smith, who led the Seahawks to a thrilling victory over the defending Super Bowl champs. He completed 21 of 31 passes for 224 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also added 29 rushing yards on the ground. Smith was efficient and accurate, making smart decisions and avoiding turnovers. Now let's shift our attention to the receivers. Tyreek Hill had a monster game for the Chiefs, catching 8 passes for 158 yards and a touchdown. His speed and agility were on full display as he burned the Seahawks secondary for big gains. On the other side, DK Metcalf had a solid performance for the Seahawks, catching 5 passes for 89 yards and a touchdown. Despite double coverage for most of the game, Metcalf still made some tough catches and moved the chains for Seattle. Let's not forget about the running backs. Isaiah Pacheco had a great game for the Chiefs, rushing for 95 yards and a touchdown on 18 carries. He showed patience, vision, and power, breaking tackles and picking up tough yards. For the Seahawks, Zach Charbonnet had a decent outing, rushing for 42 yards and a touchdown on 12 carries. Defensively, the standout player of the night was Jordan Brooks of the Seahawks. He recorded 10 tackles, including 1 for a loss and 1 interception. Brooks was all over the field making plays, stuffing the run and covering tight ends. And now it's time for the famous Gut Check Award. Given to the player who stepped up and made a significant impact in the game, without hesitation, I'm awarding this to Michael Jackson III of the Seahawks. His interception and 55-yard return for a touchdown right before halftime gave the Seahawks the momentum they needed to pull off the upset. If you enjoyed this recap, please hit that thumbs up button. Now let's take a quick look at the schedule for next week's games. We have the Los Angeles Rams facing off against the Denver Broncos, the Houston Texans taking on the New Orleans Saints, and the Las Vegas Raiders going head-to-head with the Dallas Cowboys. The Cleveland Browns will be squaring off against the Philadelphia Eagles, and the New York Jets will be facing off against the Atlanta Falcons. And finally, the San Francisco 49ers will be taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. As always, feel free to drop your thoughts and comments below. Who do you think will come out on top in next week's games? I can't wait to see what the rest of the preseason has in store for us. That's it for tonight. Folks, thanks for joining me on this journey through the 2025 NFL preseason. Don't forget to stay tuned for more updates. Until next time, catch you later.